Sodika, and welcome to ASEAN Challenge, your news updates around the ASEAN bloc, both in English and in Thai. I'm Alisa Sithiwong ขอต้อนรับคุณผู้ชมทุกท่านเข้าสู่รายการ ASEAN Challenge ค่ะข่าวสารรอบอาเซียนเป็นภาษาอังกฤษและภาษาไทยวันนี้พบกับดิฉัน Alisa Sithiwong ค่ะ Beginning off with some updates in the area, specifically in an ASEAN country that made it to the headlines in ASEAN around us today. We turn to Cambodia and a situation that might not be, we can say, appropriate for the country itself. Now, as we know that Cambodia is a country full of culture and full of tradition, some may go to a country and once you travel there, of course, you should, of course, behave in certain ways. Now, what happened in Cambodia was that 10 foreigners were charged and arrested for singing and dancing, which they called a singing and dancing pornographically, officials have said. And as the kingdom cracks down on racy behavior at popular tourist sites. Now, the group appeared in court 3 days after police arrested them on Thursday, and this was on, of course, near the Siem Reap area, in which they said that the 10 suspects were being charged with producing pornographic pictures and materials, which can carry a maximum 1-year sentence. And according to officials, they said that of the 10 defendants, about 5 or 6 of them, of course, were British nationals, and there were 2 Canadians, 1 New Zealander, and 1, of course, which was not identified at the time yet. All were accused of singing and dancing pornographically, the police said in a post which showed photos of pairs simulating various sexual positions at a party. Now, several people in the original images, however, do not appear in the group shot of the 10 defendants later posted by police on social media and authorities, and in which they did not say who had taken the suggestive photos or when. Some of those arrested were expats and others were tourists who had been in the country for several months. And this was said by Dung Tavri, the chief of the Anti-Human Trafficking and Juvenile Protection Department in Siem Reap. She also said that we cracked down on them because they committed activities that are against our culture. Officials have said dozens of tourists were let go after being informed of their inappropriate actions. Now, in terms of Britain's Foreign Office, they have said that it was in contact with British nationals arrested in Cambodia and was providing support to the families. Tourists normally visit Angkor Wat and stay in Siem Reap, which has a number of hotels and late-night bars and clubs. Now, in the recent years, authorities have clamped down on visitors posting revealing images of themselves at the nearby temple sites, and in 2016, management said it would bar tourists wearing skimpy clothing. The Angkor Archaeological Park, a World Heritage Site, showcases the remains of the different capitals of the Khmer Empire dating from the 9th to the 15th centuries. It is Cambodia's most popular tourist attraction, receiving millions of visitors each year. Now, it's very important, of course, once you visit a country that, of course, you have to follow their rules, and what is considered appropriate and not appropriate, especially in cultural heritage sites as Siem Reap area and, of course, Angkor Wat. So, of course, this is an example that people can look on in order to know that, you have to behave in different ways if you're planning to visit their country. And, of course, it's all about respect as well. มาดูกันในส่วนของ ASEAN Around Us ในสัปดาห์นี้ค่ะมากันที่ประเทศกัมพูชานะคะซึ่งก็มีเหตุการณ์ที่เกิดขึ้นที่ได้พาดหัวข่าวแล้วก็ดังในโซเชียลมีเดียพอสมควรเลยทีเดียวที่ประเทศกัมพูชานะคะอย่างที่เราทราบกันดีว่าประเทศนี้เป็นประเทศที่เน้นเรื่องมรดกแห่งวัฒนธรรมนะคะการปฏิบัติตนเนี่ยก็ถือว่าต้องเป็นสิ่งที่ระมัดระวังมากๆเลยค่ะทางกัมพูชานะคะก็ได้จับกุมชาวต่างชาติทั้งหมด10คนค่ะที่ได้ร้องเพลงแล้วก็เต้นในทางอนาจารนั่นเองนะคะใน10คนนี้นะคะก็แยกเป็นชาวอังกฤษ6คนแคนาดา2คนนิวซีแลนด์1คนแล้วก็อีก1คนนะคะก็ยังไม่สามารถระบุสัญชาติได้นะคะชาวต่างชาติทั้ง10คนนี้ได้ถูกจับกลุ่มในข้อหาที่ร้องเพลงแล้วก็เต้นในท่าทางอนาจารซึ่งกลุ่มนี้นะคะอาจจะต้องรับโทษจำคุก1 ปีซึ่งตำรวจก็ได้จับกุมเมื่อวันที่25 มกราคมที่ผ่านมานั่นเองค่ะในวิลล่าที่พักในเมืองของเสียมริปใกล้ๆกับสถานที่ท่องเที่ยวยอดนิยม ของกัมพูชานั่นเองค่ะอย่างที่เราทราบกันดีว่ากัมพูชาเนี่ยถือว่าเป็นประเทศที่เต็มไปด้วยวัฒนธรรมนะคะอย่างเก่าแก่ที่นี่นะคะสถานที่ท่องเที่ยวก็จะมีมากมายไม่ว่าจะเป็นวัดต่างๆวัดพนมเจดีย์เงินนะคะไม่ว่าจะเป็นทุ่งสังหารหรือว่าพิพิธภัณฑ์ต่างๆเพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยใครที่มาเยี่ยมประเทศกัมพูชาก็อาจจะต้องระมัดระวังพอสมควรนะคะประเทศนี้ก็ถือว่ามีนักท่องเที่ยวที่ไปเยอะแล้วก็อาจจะมีการปฏิบัติที่ไม่สมควรกันบ้างแต่ว่าก็ถือว่าเป็นหนึ่งเหตุการณ์ที่เราสามารถที่จะดูเป็นตัวอย่างได้ว่าการไปประเทศไหนนี่เราก็ควรที่จะนับถือวิถีชีวิตของเขาแล้วก็วัฒนธรรมของเขาไม่ควรที่จะปฏิบัติตามที่อยากจะทำอาจจะแตกต่างกันไปในแถบยุโรปกับแถบเอเชียนั่นเองค่ะ Alright, with that said, ASEAN around us, we're going to take a short break and we'll be back for more news updates soon. เดี๋ยวพักกันสักครู่ค่ะ กลับเข้าสู่รายการ ASEAN Challenge ค่ะ Welcome back to the program and on to some updates with the situation going around our ASEAN bloc, beginning off in the Philippines in terms of a volcanic activity or in terms of the weather and climates. Of course, rainstorms, as we have seen recently in the ASEAN bloc, especially in Indonesia itself, has triggered secondary disasters like volcanic mudflows as well, specifically at Mount Mayon. It's a volcano and it has continued to erupt for quite some time already, saying that it has been erupting for 3 to 6 times per day. And according to an expert with the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, heavy rains have started hitting Legazpi city where Mount Mayon is located, and the volcano has been erupting continuously for 2 weeks already. If the rainfall amounts to a certain degree, it might trigger volcanic mudflows, also known as lahars. Now, according to the Institute, heavy rain started hitting the area, and right now it is raining pretty hard here in Albay province. So there is always that danger. The next danger right now is the possibility of lahars, depending on how strong or how long this rain lasts. Lahars could cause catastrophic damage to where it flows through. They also have suggested that residents living near rivers should move to higher ground to avoid further damage. According to the Institute as well, those people who are living near rivers and streams, even if they are outside of the danger zone, they should particularly be careful and alert at all times because lahars can happen very quickly. Now, at the moment, over 80,000 residents have been evacuated since the volcano became active on January 13th. The eruptions take place at 3 to 6 times a day at the moment, and such eruptions are expected to continue in the next 3 months. They also said that there is a possibility of massive eruption, which is always something that they should be alert for. They also mentioned that, in quotes, so there is always that possibility, and right now so far from our calculations of the amount of materials it has expelled or thrown out, we estimate that there is still a lot of magma underneath the volcano that's just waiting to come out. And from our instruments we have detected that it is continuously pushing up towards the crater as well. So that's the situation going on in the Philippines at the moment now. มาดูกันในส่วนของข่าวแรกในอาเซียนฮอตอิชชูค่ะมากันที่ประเทศฟิลิปปินส์กันบ้างนะคะอย่างที่เราเห็นกันในขณะนี้นะคะก็มีฝนที่เกิดขึ้นในฟิลิปปินส์มากมายซึ่งผู้เชี่ยวชาญของฟิลิปปินส์นะคะก็ได้ออกมาเตือนประชาชนให้ระวังกระแสโคลนภูเขาไฟมายอนนั่นเองค่ะหลังจากที่มีพายุฝนกระหน่ำในเมืองเลกัสฟีนะคะในจังหวัดอัลไบพร้อมกับเตือนประชาชนนะคะว่าภูเขาไฟมายอนเนี่ยอาจจะมีการระเบิดครั้งใหญ่ตั้งแต่วันที่13 มกราคมที่ผ่านมาค่ะทางภูเขาไฟมายอนก็ได้เริ่มมีการปะทุวันละ 3-6 ครั้งจึงมีประชาชนกว่า 80,000 คนก็ต้องอพยพออกจากพื้นที่เข้าสู่พื้นที่ปลอดภัยนั่นเองคาดว่าภูเขาไฟมายอนนะคะก็จะปะทุอย่างต่อเนื่องไปอีก3 เดือนข้างหน้าและมีความเป็นไปได้ว่าภูเขาไฟจะระเบิดอย่าง รุนแรงขึ้นค่ะก็ต้องเป็นเหตุการณ์ที่ต้องระมัดระวังแล้วก็ติดตามข่าวกันดูนะคะ We'll keep you posted of course on the situation going on. Now moving on to some other news updates now from the Philippines we go on to Indonesia and in which Indonesia's Widodo has visited the Rohingya refugees located in Bangladesh. As we know that the situation going on Rohingya Muslims in Bangladesh has been ongoing and they are of course trying to move the Rohingya Muslims back into Myanmar. The situation is still ongoing. However, Indonesian President Joko Widodo has visited the Rohingya refugee camp located in the southern part of Bangladesh in the Cox's Bazar region. This was Sunday, January 28th. Now, in the situation, Widodo's visit comes as Bangladesh is trying to struggle in order to cope with an influx of now around 688,000 Rohingya refugees who have fled an army crackdown in Myanmar's Rakhine state since last August of 2017. During his visit to the Kutupalong refugee camp, Joko Widodo said his government will provide more amenities such as health and education centers. We can see that a lot of countries, international support have been coming into the refugee camps since it has happened in the end of 2017, but the situation is of course still ongoing. A joint statement was released as well after Widodo's visit, and the Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina appreciated Indonesia's supportive role, including the humanitarian assistance for the displaced persons from Rakhine state sheltered in Bangladesh. Witnesses have reported killings, looting, and rape after the Myanmar army cracked down in response to militant attacks on security forces in Rakhine. Many in the Buddhist majority Myanmar country regard the Rohingya community as illegal immigrants from Bangladesh, and the United Nations has described the crackdown as ethnic cleansing, which Myanmar has denied. So the situation, of course, is still ongoing, and it has been going on since the end of 2017, as we know, and now the numbers have gone up to almost 700,000 refugees trying to flow into Bangladesh. However, of course, the UN has stepped in, international aid has stepped in as well to try to mitigate the situation. So we'll have to keep you posted in terms of what is going to happen and how things will be mitigated in the near future. ไปกันต่อที่ประเทศอินโดนีเซียกันบ้างนะคะอย่างที่เราเห็นกันในขณะนี้นะคะนี่ก็คือประธานาธิบดีโจโกวิโดโดของอินโดนีเซียค่ะซึ่งก็ได้ไปเยือนประเทศบังกลาเทศนะคะเพื่อติดตามสถานการณ์ที่ค่ายผู้ลี้ภัยสำหรับชาวมุสลิมโรฮิงญาหลายแสนคนนะคะที่ได้อพยพมาจากประเทศเมียนมาเองเหตุการณ์นี้นะคะก็ได้เกิดขึ้นตั้งแต่เดือนสิงหาคมที่แล้วในปัจจุบันนะคะชาวโรฮิงญาก็มีจำนวนเกือบ 700,000 คนแล้วที่พยายามที่จะหลบหนีจากเมียนมาเข้าสู่บังกลาเทศนั่นเองทางอินโดนีเซียก็ได้ส่งความช่วยเหลือไปนะคะไม่ว่าจะเป็นยาต่างๆหรือว่าของใช้จำเป็นนะคะทางประเทศบังกลาเทศก็รู้สึกขอบคุณกับสิ่งที่ทางประเทศอินโดนีเซียได้ทำขณะนี้นะคะเหตุการณ์ของโรฮิงญาก็ยังพยายามที่จะแก้ไขสถานการณ์อย่างต่อเนื่องก็ต้องติดตามดูนะคะว่าสถานการณ์จะเป็นยังไงอย่างต่อไปค่ะ Moving on to some more news updates now, still in the Philippines, but more in the capital city now, and a rally that has been going on for 2 weeks already, specifically in terms of journalists rallying in order to demand for press freedom. Around 200 journalists and activists have rallied in the Manila capital of the Philippines on Friday night of January 19th to demand press freedom and to protect the government's probes and revocation of a local news website called Rapplers. So their licenses is going to be revocated, and there have been probes on the news agency, of course. The country's corporate regulator last week had revoked the site's operating license for violating the Constitution's restriction on foreign ownership of media, while the Justice Minister has said on January 17th and ordered an investigation into Rappler's possible criminal liability. Now, Rappler is one of the news agencies in the Philippines which is known to criticize the government quite a bit. So, of course, news medias and journalists have come out to maybe protest in terms of the freedom of speech or the freedom of the press as well, and probing in terms of, is this a reason why they were revoked their licenses? Rappler's executive editor, Maria Ressa, has spoke to journalists and activists who were wearing black shirts to show solidarity with the news website and said they will hold the the line and would not be intimidated by what she calls charges that are political in nature. So, of course, as mentioned, Rappler is known for its investigative reporting. Rappler has repeatedly drawn the ear of the volatile President Rodrigo Duterte, who on Tuesday, January 16th, called it a fake news outlet, but he denied influencing the regulator or going after journalists as well. And so, as mentioned, of course, this is the second week that reporters and journalists have come out to rally in the area in order to demand for press freedom. กลับมาที่ประเทศฟิลิปปินส์กันบ้างนะคะที่เห็นในขณะนี้นะคะก็มีสื่อหลากหลายสาขาของฟิลิปปินส์ค่ะก็ได้มารวมตัวกันชุมนุมในวัน Black Friday นั่นเองนะคะต่อเนื่องเป็นสัปดาห์ที่2แล้วเพื่อประท้วงคำสั่งเพิกถอนใบอนุญาตสำนักข่าว Rappler นั่นเองค่ะการชุมนุมในครั้งนี้ก็เกิดขึ้นในกรุงมะนิลาของฟิลิปปินส์นะคะซึ่งสำนักข่าว Rappler นะคะก็ถือว่าเป็นหนึ่งสำนักข่าวในหลายๆสื่อที่เป็นสื่อหลักของฟิลิปปินส์นะคะที่จะมีการวิพากษ์วิจารณ์การทำงานของรัฐบาลค่ะก็ถือว่าเป็นอีกหนึ่งสื่อที่ถือว่าได้ปิดตัวไปหรือว่าได้ยึดเพิกถอนใบอนุญาตไปนะคะทางสื่อต่างๆก็มีความไม่พอใจต้องการเสรีภาพทางสื่อก็ได้ออกมาประท้วงกันเป็นเวลา2สัปดาห์แล้วค่ะAlright, moving on to some other news updates now in terms of some relationships between the ASEAN nations and specifically with India. Of course, Singapore's Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong on January 25th and of course, other countries, has said that Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or the RCEP, represented a historic opportunity for India and the ASEAN countries in order to trade together in business ties. Lee made the comments during a plenary session of the Association of Southeast Asian Regional Cooperation, or ASEAN-India Commemorative Summit in New Delhi. He has said that China backed Trade Pact and the potent to establish world's largest trading bloc that will help business harness the region's true potential. We have some voice clips, of course, from Lee Hsien Loong, the Prime Minister of Singapore, for you as well. เดี๋ยวไปฟังกันค่ะในส่วนของประธานาธิบดีขออภัยค่ะนายกรัฐมนตรีของสิงคโปร์ลีเซียนลุงค่ะ
The Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, the RCEP, which is currently being negotiated by ASEAN, India, and other partners, represents a historic opportunity to establish the world's largest trading bloc, which would enable our businesses to harness the region's true potential. Expanding connectivity, air, land, maritime, and digital connectivity, is also important for growth. It will reinforce business and people-to-people links between the two sides and benefit both our peoples. We believe that India makes a major contribution to regional affairs, helping to keep the regional architecture open, balanced, and inclusive.
So the RCEP is proposed free trade agreement, or FTA, between the 10 ASEAN nations and its 6 dialogue partners, which include China, India, Japan, South Korea, Australia, and New Zealand. Reportedly, negotiations are running 2 years behind schedule for the agreement, which covers goods, services, investments, economic and technical cooperation, and intellectual property rights as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said India and ASEAN nations will work together to boost maritime ties as well. So let's hear from him as well. เดี๋ยวเราไปฟังกันต่อในส่วนของนายกรัฐมนตรีของอินเดียค่ะ
Your collective presence here has also touched the hearts of my 1.25 billion fellow Indians. It highlights the importance of our strategic partnership, placing ASEAN at the center of India's Act East policy. India shares ASEAN vision to peace and prosperity through a rules-based order for the oceans and seas. Respect for international law, notably UNCLOS, is critical for this. We remain committed to work with ASEAN to enhance practical cooperation and collaboration in our shared maritime domain.
So those were the prime ministers of Singapore and the prime minister of India on their talks, of course, in terms of the relationships between ASEAN nations and India. The leaders attending the summit in New Delhi included Myanmar's Aung San Suu Kyi, Indonesia, President Joko Widodo, President Rodrigo Duterte of the Philippines as well. So, of course, this is an opportunity for them to boost trade between India and ASEAN nations in order to, of course, boost the relationship between all the nations as well, and hopefully we'll keep you posted on some prosperous and very good news, of course, in terms of the relationship and some of the advancements going to be made within these countries. มาดูกันในส่วนข่าวที่4นะคะในอาเซียน Hot Issue ค่ะที่ประชุมสุดยอดผู้นำอินเดียอาเซียนนะคะก็ได้มีการเพิ่มความร่วมมือด้านการค้านั่นเองที่ประชุมสุดยอดผู้นำอินเดียอาเซียนนะคะวาระพิเศษในโอกาสครบรอบความสัมพันธ์25ปีก็ได้เห็นชอบการส่งเสริมความร่วมมือในด้านความมั่นคงทางทะเลแล้วก็นโยบายทางการค้านั่นเองค่ะโดยทางนายกรัฐมนตรีนเรนทราโมดีและผู้นำรัฐบาลของ10ประเทศสมาชิกสมาคมอาเซียนนั่นเองนะคะก็ได้เห็นชอบในการเห็นด้วยในการขยายการร่วมมือในด้านความมั่นคงด้านทะเลเพื่อที่จะจัดการกับความท้าทายทั้งที่ตามแบบแผนแล้วที่ไม่ได้เป็นแบบแผนโดยที่ไม่มีการลงลึกในรายละเอียดนะคะเมื่อสักครู่นี้เราก็ได้ฟังเสียงของทั้ง2คนนะคะก็เป็นนายกรัฐมนตรีของอินเดียแล้วก็นายกรัฐมนตรีของสิงคโปร์นั่นเองค่ะก็เชื่อว่าความสัมพันธ์ของประเทศอาเซียนทั้ง10ประเทศกับอินเดียนะคะก็จะมีการร่วมมือในอนาคตที่แน่นขึ้นอย่างแน่นอนค่ะWe'll keep you posted in terms of the situation, in terms of the relationships between the 10 ASEAN countries and India. Now moving on to another relationship and tie between the United States now and Vietnam, in which the U.S. Secretary of Defense has come for an official meeting in order to meet with Vietnam's top politicians in Hanoi. So this was the U.S. Secretary of Defense Jim Mattis, in which has met with Vietnam's General Secretary of the Communist Party in Hanoi, and this occurred on January 25th as part of an official visit to the Southeast Asian nation. Now, Mattis has arrived in Hanoi after visiting Indonesia, among several countries in his agenda, a trip that is part of the efforts to strengthen the existing alliances between the two countries, between the United States and Vietnam, and making new partners, according to the U.S. Department of Defense's websites. Now, in a post-war First, the United States is poised to send an aircraft carrier to Vietnam in March. Officials of both sides have said on Thursday that evidence of deepening military ties between them more than 4 decades after the Vietnam War. So it's been a while since they've had or boosted their ties between the two countries from the United States and Vietnam. So now they're becoming back in terms of trying to strengthening the ties. And the proposed visit is set for March at the central port of Da Nang. Vietnam Defense Military has said in a statement, such a visit by a U.S. aircraft carrier could bring the most U.S. forces to Vietnam since the conflict has ended in 1975. So as we know, there has been conflict in the United States and Vietnam since 1975 in the wars. But of course, in terms of redefining, or what we can say strengthening the ties once again, of course the United States will be coming, and of course will be sending an aircraft carrier to Vietnam hopefully in March of 2018. มาดูกันในส่วนของข่าวต่อไปนะคะในข่าวที่เป็นความสัมพันธ์ระหว่างสหรัฐกับประเทศเวียดนามนั่นเองค่ะซึ่งทางรัฐมนตรีกลาโหมของสหรัฐนะคะก็ได้มาเยือนเวียดนามอย่างเป็นทางการทางพลเอกเจมส์แมตติสรัฐมนตรีกลาโหมสหรัฐนะคะก็ได้เยือนประเทศเวียดนามอย่างเป็นทางการในวันที่ระหว่างวันที่ 24 ถึง 25 มกราคมที่ผ่านมานั่นเองค่ะตามคำเชิญของพลเอกโงซัวหลิกรัฐมนตรีกลาโหมของเวียดนามซึ่งการเยือนในครั้งนี้นะคะก็มีวัตถุประสงค์เพื่อที่จะผลักดันความสัมพันธ์ของทั้ง2ประเทศนะคะแล้วก็หวังว่าจะมีความสัมพันธ์ที่แน่นแฟ้นขึ้นระหว่างประชาชนกับกองทัพของทั้ง2ประเทศเช่นเดียวกันเน้นประเด็นเกี่ยวกับเสรีภาพด้านการลาดตระเวนในทะเลจีนใต้นะคะซึ่งในการเยือนในครั้งนี้ไปที่ประเทศเวียดนามเนี่ยก็ถือว่าเป็นครั้งที่ถือว่าสำคัญมากๆเป็นการกระชับความสัมพันธ์ทางทหารให้มากขึ้นหลังจากที่ได้หายไปเป็นเวลานานตั้งแต่ปี 1975 นั่นเองค่ะ So those are the news updates going on in terms of the ASEAN hot issue. Stay tuned and we'll of course keep you posted more news updates in this program. But for now we're going to take a short break, and up next we have the ASEAN calendar. เดี๋ยวพักกันสักครู่ค่ะในช่วงหน้ากลับมาสู่ ASEAN calendar ค่ะ Welcome back to the program and on to ASEAN calendar. Of course, this week we have several events going on in our ASEAN bloc. กลับเข้าสู่รายการ ASEAN Challenge ค่ะในช่วงนี้ ASEAN calendar ไปดูกันว่าในอาเซียนของเรามีอีเวนต์อะไรกำลังเกิดขึ้นบ้างค่ะ
February 3rd, Thai Veterans Day. In the Thai national anthem, one phrase of the lyrics says the Thai people love peace, but when there's war, we will fight audaciously. As you know, war has never given anyone happiness besides sadness, tears, and loss. In fact, the Thai people have been forced to protect independence and sovereignty for many times in history. Thai soldiers have sacrificed their lives and blood, saving the kingdom, so Thai people can live in the country happily. Thai people reminisce about their soldiers' bravery on this special occasion. All Thai residents heartily show respect to honor the veterans' sacrifices on Thai Veterans Day. In Thailand, the Veterans Day is the 3rd of February each year. To praise the bravery of veterans and to help the families of soldiers who died while fighting to protect national sovereignty. The red poppy is a symbol of the veterans. It's a symbol of the blood of soldiers who shed their blood for the kingdom with courage and supreme sacrifice. So on that day, Thais will see poppies blooming throughout the country. There are also preparations for the sale of poppies on Veterans Day, aiming to raise funds to support the troops, veterans, and their families.
February 4th, 2018, World Cancer Day. World Cancer Day is an international day marked on February 4th to raise awareness of cancer and to encourage its prevention, detection, and treatment. World Cancer Day was founded by the Union for International Cancer Control, or UICC, to support the goals of the World Cancer Declaration, written in 2008. The primary goal of World Cancer Day is to significantly reduce illness and death caused by cancer by 2020. World Cancer Day targets misinformation, raises awareness, and reduces stigma. Multiple initiatives run on World Cancer Day to show support for those affected by cancer. One of these movements is #NoHairSelfie, a global movement to have hair-ticipants shave their heads either physically or virtually to show a symbol of courage for those undergoing cancer treatment. Images of participants are then shared over social media. Local events also take place. Background: cancer is a leading cause of death around the world. According to the WHO, which estimates that 84 million people will die of cancer between 2005 and 2015 without intervention. Low-income and medium-income countries are harder hit by cancer than the high-resource countries. It is essential to address the world's growing cancer burden and to work on effective control measures. World Cancer Day is part of the World Cancer Campaign, which responds to the Charter of Paris adopted at the World Summit Against Cancer for the New Millennium on February 4, 2000. It called for a strong alliance between researchers, healthcare professionals, patients, governments, industry partners, and media to fight cancer. The Charter of Paris designated February 4th each year as World Cancer Day. UICC is responsible for coordinating World Cancer Day globally. It receives support from various partners and organizations, including the World Health Organization, the International Atomic Energy Agency, and other international bodies. UICC organized the first World Cancer Day in 2006. Symbols. There are different symbols that are used to help promote the fight against different types of cancers. For example, the pink ribbon is a global symbol for breast cancer awareness, while the orange ribbon is associated with child cancer awareness. Another example is the daffodil, which the American Cancer Society sees as a symbol of hope that people share for a future where cancer is no longer a life-threatening disease. The 12th of February 2018, Myanmar Union Day. When is Myanmar Union Day? Union Day is an annual public holiday in Myanmar on the 12th of February. The holiday marks the date in 1947 when the Panglong Agreement was signed and passed and Burma became a unified country. The history of Myanmar Union Day. In 1886, Myanmar, then called Burma, came under British control, but the British made a distinction between how central Burma and the various outlying ethnic groups were ruled. Following the end of the Second World War, General Aung San, head of the interim Burmese government and representative from the Shan State and Kachin Hills and the Chin Hills, met in Palong in order to determine the future of Burma. They reached an agreement which was signed and passed on February 12, 1947. The agreement unified Burma and demanded that the British government restore independence to all of Burma. The Panglong Agreement formed the basis for the creation of the Union of Burma. The agreement was a key event in the history of Myanmar as it directly led to the creation of Burma as an independent state in January 1948. While instrumental in the Panglong Agreement, Aung San did not live to see Burma gain its independence in January 1948. He was assassinated on 19th of January 1947. Burma was renamed Myanmar in 1989 by its military government. And those were the events surrounding our ASEAN bloc. With that said, we're going to take a short break and we'll be back soon. เดี๋ยวพักกันสักครู่ค่ะ Welcome back to the program and on to ASEAN interview. We have an interesting interview, of course, about a beauty pageant that occurred not too long ago and in which we'll be interviewing, of course, an international student in which received Miss Scuba International 2017. And of course, at the moment, she studies at Rangsit University. Now, just a little bit of a background information in terms of what Miss Scuba International is. Of course, Miss Scuba International pageant was first set up in 2011, or that was the first time that it was competed, of course. And of course, as the name mentioned, it focuses on the ocean. It was established and founded by Mr. Robert Lowe, in which he hopes that people will be able to see the beauties and the wonders of the ocean through a beauty queen, of course. And they also want to be able to let people know the importance and the big roles that the ocean plays to our planet as well. ในส่วนของ ASEAN Interview ในสัปดาห์นี้นะคะเราจะไปสัมภาษณ์นักศึกษานานาชาตินะคะที่ได้รับตำแหน่ง Miss Scuba International 2017 นั่นเองนะคะเธอเป็นนักศึกษานานาชาตินะคะของมหาวิทยาลัยรังสิตนั่นเองซึ่ง Miss Scuba International ค่ะก็ถือว่าเป็นการประกวดที่เกิดขึ้นครั้งแรกในปี 2011 นั่นเองซึ่งแน่นอนอยู่แล้วความสำคัญของการประกวดครั้งนี้ก็คือเพื่อที่จะให้ประชาชนเนี่ยได้เห็นความสำคัญของท้องทะเลนั่นเองการก่อตั้งนะคะก็ได้ก่อตั้งโดย Mr. Robert Lowe นั่นเองซึ่งใน ครั้งนี้นะคะเขาก็อยากจะให้ประชาชนหรือว่าคนต่างๆเนี่ยเห็นความสำคัญและความสวยงามของท้องทะเลผ่านนางงามนั่นเองแล้วก็เห็นความสำคัญของท้องทะเลต่อโลกของเราเอาเป็นว่าเดี๋ยวเราไปดูกันค่ะว่า Miss Scuba International เป็นยังไงไปติดตามชมค่ะ
Kuzuzangpo. I'm Kingal Haden, 23 years young, all the way from the glorious and peaceful land of the Thunder Dragon, Bhutan. The reason why I joined this beautifully unique pageant is to show the world that a girl from landlocked country care about oceans and seas, because conserving marine environment is not only about one nation, it's about the whole universe, and I'm glad to be a part of MSI as it gives me opportunity to contribute a part to the betterment of the oceans and seas. And I'm here because I care.
Hello and Sawadika. Welcome back to ASEAN Challenge Show with your host Pama again, and for today we have yet another interesting guest to talk about her experience. So let's welcome no other than the beauty queen Miss Kingaladin, all the way from Bhutan, who recently bagged a title of Miss Congeniality for International Scuba Contest. So let's welcome her and get to hear about her experiences and insights. Welcome to the show, Miss Kingaladin. Thank you for coming. And it's a pleasure to have you here. So how are you doing today?
Thank you so much for having me here, and I'm doing good today. How about you?
Me too. So could you please share us about the recent beauty contest that you just participated?
The recent beauty pageant, it was Miss Scuba International, which advocated in marine life conservation, and it is quite different from other beauty pageants, because other beauty pageants, they usually advocate on women empowerment and child protection, which is actually nice, but marine conservation and focusing on conserving marine environment is very new, and marine life, you know how important it is to all of us. So Miss Scuba International focused more on marine conservation, and that actually attracted me, coming from a Himalayan countries where Bhutan conserve forests. It's considered very important in Bhutan to conserve environment. So coming from a country where environment is very important, so yeah, I thought it's a very great opportunity for me to actually go and do my part in the betterment of oceans and seas.
Wow, so impressive. So I have been told that this is not your first time contesting for the beauty. You have bagged so many titles in the previous contest as well, like Miss Congeniality and Miss Weaver's Choice for Miss Asia beauty pageant contest. So apart from all those beauty contests that you have participated, so what motivated you in particular to opt for this contest?
Actually, for Miss Asia, it was my first time participating in a beauty pageant, and the agency back in Bhutan, they actually did a contest to select a contestant to represent Bhutan in Miss Asia. So yeah, I got lucky and got selected to actually represent my country there, for which I'm very proud of myself. And for Miss Scuba International also, like I said earlier, it was advocating on something different, that is marine conservation. And I studied environmental studies in a bachelor's degree, so I found it quite related, and my interest itself is in conserving environment. So yeah, that is the whole thing that motivated me to do my part in the betterment of marine life.
Very impressive. And more the way you say it, it really emphasizes on the environmental aspects, and then it's something very happening in the world today. So very impressive. So could you tell us now, speaking again about the Scuba International contest, after winning the title of Miss Congeniality, and with this new identity, do you feel in any way it has changed or shaped your perspectives, especially in regard to being obliged in advocating for submarine lives?
Thank you for the question. Actually, this is a really good question. Yeah, obviously, this two beauty pageants, but specifically Miss Cuba International, it has helped me a lot to see ocean and see marine environment in totally different views. Before, when I did not join this contest, I did have my affection and love towards the ocean and seas. But after going there and getting back from there, the feeling is different. You see. Especially when I walk near the beaches and just feel the water and sand, I feel very happy, and I also feel like there's a lot to do for the seas and ocean personally. And yeah, in a way it has shaped my whole view towards the ocean in a very positive way, for which I'm very grateful. And yeah, that itself motivates me to do something for the ocean and seas and environment as a whole after I graduate from this university. And yeah, moreover, I really want to do something very positive for the ocean and for the environment, because we all know how important that is. Like, everything works in a circle, like everything, we all depend on each other. It's like an ecosystem. If the ocean gets distorted, then that is somehow going to affect the human lives. So it's very important to prevent it before it gets very big, before the issue gets very big and unmanageable.
Very inspiring, and good to see such beauty, by beauty physically and with such a compassionate heart inside and thinking of interdependence. So it's very and the way you mean to say that this competition has deep rooted the connection with the ocean. So it's very impressive to hear. And now, Miss Asia Bhutan, could you please tell us what beauty means to you?
Beauty, the definition of beauty lies in the eyes of beholder. So I cannot actually generalize the meaning of beauty, but personally for me, beauty means the purity of heart. And beauty, because I see beauty in those who are very beautiful from inside. No matter how beautiful you are from outside, doesn't matter, because that is going to fade with time and age. You get old and that is going to vanish. But the purity that you'll be having in your heart will stay with you forever. So basically for me, beauty is something something that defines the purity of heart. And if you have good intention, if you have positive outlook towards life, then that makes you look beautiful. And personally, I feel that beauty is something that people shouldn't be saying physical beauty or having a good shape or having a beautiful face or flawless skin. That's not beauty. Of course it is for some people, but inner heart matters a lot than the physical appearance, I feel.
Wow, what a beautiful definition of beauty you just offered. So, what are your future plans hereafter?
Well, I'm kind of person who live in the moment, so I usually don't plan for future. But yeah, I look forward to complete my masters and get good grades, of course, so that I'll be able to do my part in the betterment of whatever issues there are around the world, be it gender equality, women empowerment, child protection, and of course environment. So yeah, that is my future plan, to do something positive for the issues that are arising right now. And I feel that a lot of people are being ignorant to that, and I want to be the person to actually face that issues and actually help those people in need. Yeah.
Wow, so good luck in that.
Thank you so much.
And so why out of all the places, what made you to choose Thailand for your study?
Firstly, it's because it's near Bhutan and I can go back to Bhutan whenever I want to. And secondly, is because the friendship that we share, Thailand and Bhutan, the friendship that we share and the bond we have, that actually encouraged me to join Thailand, thinking that people here would be approachable and sociable. So yeah, that is the reason why I came to Thailand.
Wow, so nice. So any aspirations or any more comments, especially to the aspiring young models, that you want to offer?
Yes. Well, I have a lot, but let me just sum it up in brief. It doesn't matter where you come from, as long as you have the strong will to do something in life. if you're interested in modeling and if it's not going well right now, that's not the end of the world, and you shouldn't take it as the end of the world. There's a whole lot of life and whole lot of things waiting for you. You just need to push yourself harder. Like if you don't work hard, you won't get anything. Like if I'm hungry and if I just sit here and say I'm hungry, the food won't come crawling to me. So just like that, if you want something, you have to get it, and you need to have the strong determination inside you, and of course support from your surrounding as well.
Wow, I hope this reaches to all the young models out there, and thank you so much for joining us for today's show and sharing such insightful thoughts with us. So have a good stay in Thailand and wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. So that was Miss Kingaladin all the way from Bhutan, the beauty queen, sharing her insightful thoughts. So stay tuned for next shows.
And that's all for the program this week. Stay tuned next week for more news updates and the situation going around your ASEAN bloc. As for now, Sawadee ka.